Good morning, good morning, good morning. Peace and blessings. It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. Peace and blessings, everybody. I just wanted to come before y'all real quick, to double down on the video I did yesterday. Um, to get back into what's going on in the politics of things. And, as the title says, the dangers of sanctuary cities, illegal immigration. But you know, we've been carrying on this conversation because, the argument is that these sanctuary cities are a safe haven for people that just want to seek asylum, people that just want to, you know, create a better lifestyle for their families, which I'm empathetic to. But in a lot of these cases, it creates a dangerous environment for the American citizens. And, these sanctuary cities, they may, harbor criminals. But a lot of people want to say, oh, they're not criminals. They just pick our fruit and things of that nature. But we have to have a system in place, a vetting system that will allow us to know who we are allowing around our children, around our elderly, around us, period. Because if these people are dangerous people and we haven't went through the proper process, then you would have volatile situations occurring. And, I think that the Democratic Party has created an infrastructure of corruption by hiding behind a sanctuary city. You got judges, just like the judges that we talked about in the last video, that are sitting in courtrooms giving leniency to illegal immigrants who commit crimes in society. Often, ICE agents know who they want to pursue as far as who is on the list. People that are involved in terroristic behavior, a part of terroristic organizations. And a lot of times we have situations where we are compromising our safety. So with that being said, I want to present an interesting video to y'all. It was a huge bust not too long ago in Nevada, of all places. So let's roll this clip and be right back.
And around the nation, U.S. Immigration, the DEA, and Customs Enforcement, along with local police, made massive arrests over the weekend. According to federal authorities, more than 100 illegal immigrants were detained in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Florida. This comes amid protests over the Trump administration's stance on immigration. Jen Sullivan has the latest.
Federal officials in Colorado breaking into what authorities describe as an underground nightclub in Colorado Springs early Sunday morning. Law enforcement swarming people as they run out of the building.
What was happening inside?
Man, so wait a minute. I said Nevada, but this is News, Nevada. But this is in Colorado. These illegal immigrants got an underground nightclub. Hundreds of them in there just chilling, and ICE got tipped off to it, and man, they rounded up 100 of them. This is crazy.
Was significant drug trafficking, prostitution, crimes of violence. We seized a number of guns in there.
Officials say more than 200 people were inside the nightclub at the time. At least 100 people were detained and taken into ICE custody, accused of being in the U.S. illegally.
Colorado Springs is waking up to a safer community today.
The detainments in Colorado are just the latest sting across the country as President Donald Trump cracks down on illegal immigration. ICE posting these photos of arrests in Florida, where nearly 800 people were taken into custody over the last
Woo! 800 people in Florida. Man, ICE is out here going crazy.
4 days, also accused of being in the country illegally. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis commending the arrest, saying Florida is leading the nation in active cooperation with the.
Now, Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, is all about helping the Trump administration with mass deportation, unlike the sanctuary cities like Chicago and California and Colorado. Ron DeSantis is in complete compliance with ICE, Tom Homan, the Trump administration, and he's he's all about preserving Florida as a safe, non-sanctuary city.
The Trump administration. Meanwhile, pro-immigrant rallies were held in Milwaukee Saturday after a Milwaukee County Circuit judge was arrested by the FBI Friday and charged in federal court for allegedly helping an undocumented immigrant avoid arrest.
Yep, that's what we covered yesterday. This lady sat up here as a sitting judge. If you didn't catch the video from yesterday, sat up here as a sitting judge and had a man that had beat up a couple of people, a man and a woman, and put them in the hospital as an illegal immigrant. And this judge, Hannah Duggan, called the illegal immigrant into her chambers, let him out the back door while ICE was there to detain him, slipped him through the back door, then removed the case from the docket like it never happened. ICE ended up, they were there to get him. They ended up catching the guy trying to evade at a major intersection, which was extremely dangerous. It's insane, man. So the FBI arrested that judge for obstruction of justice, as they should have. And simultaneously, while this is going on, you got people out here protesting to keep these illegal immigrants in their city. It's crazy.
Immigration is an issue Americans are divided on. A recent CNN poll shows 45% of people say they approve of Trump's handling of immigration, 54% saying they disapprove.
I don't know, bro. I think those numbers are off. I think you probably want to flip that around, because we voted on this. We voted, and the majority of the country by far was in favor by a large mandate for mass deportations. So I don't know where they're getting this. I mean, and you always got to consider the source. CNN, yeah, they would say that.
I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, that's crazy right there. They got a whole nightclub. They just sitting there kicking it. You got prostitution going on, drugs, meth, fentanyl, what have you, over there in Colorado and then in Florida. And like I said, man, it's a major safety concern, most importantly. And it ain't just about no Venezuelans. When you open up these borders, we're subjugated to any and everybody from across the world you come across and be unvetted. That's sitting next to you and I, at the gas station or at the grocery store or wherever. And they pose an imminent threat to our society. No nation can survive with open borders. Sanctuary cities, to me, are un-American, because, hey, I ain't got no problem with someone that's seeking asylum, but there's a proper process for that to be declared as well. So I'm gonna present another video here illustrating the dangers of sanctuary cities, man, because so often these people, they commit crimes and then they get leniency. If we as American citizens was to commit some of these crimes, we would be doing life in prison or something close to it. But so often these illegal immigrants, like, they have a license to kill and get away with it. So with that being said, check out this very, very, unfortunate situation. And we have so many situations like this. This one is not being talked about much, but let's roll this clip.
Meanwhile, a twice deported illegal alien convicted of killing 2 California teens in a DUI crash is set to be released after serving just a fraction of his sentence. Bill Melugin is live in Los Angeles with the exclusive. And you spoke, Bill, with the victims' families.
I did, John. As you can imagine, they are angry and they are frustrated. The illegal alien who was convicted of killing their kids was sentenced to serve 10 years in prison, but they were just notified by the state of California that they plan to release him early after only 3.5 years into that sentence.
Hold fast now, hold fast. You unalive 2 people. You already over here illegally. Unalive 2 people. I believe this was like, a situation where they were drunk driving or what have you. Now, a lot of times these people come from different parts of the world. They not used to our rules on the road or how to drive. They drive on the wrong side of the road. These people don't have driver license. Their culture is totally different. That's the importance of having a vetting process. So you will be, if you're coming from somewhere else, you will become accustomed to American life and how we do things over here. Instead of just bringing somebody over here, putting them behind the wheel, and they just driving recklessly, and 9 times out of 10, they under some type of controlled substance, or they drunk. And for this to be a vehicular homicide, ending in 2 people losing their life, for you to get sentenced to 10 years for that is crazy in itself. But to release them after only 3 years, just because you, from my vantage point, an illegal immigrant. Because an American citizen, the average citizen, no, you wouldn't even get 10 years, let alone get out in 3. But let's keep rolling.
3.5 years for 2 lives. It was November 2021, a fiery collision on an Orange County freeway. A young couple dead, and the driver who crashed into them, a twice deported illegal alien from Mexico with...
What? Hold on. This dude been deported twice and came back a 3rd time and ended up unaliving 2 people in a fatal car crash.
Multiple felonies, in custody for being drunk, high, and speeding at nearly 100 miles per hour.
Woo.
I get a knock on the door, and there's 2 police officers.
The pain written all over the face of Pavel Osokin, as he recalls being told his son Nikolai and his 19-year-old girlfriend Anya Varfolomeev, friends since they were kids, were gone.
They told me there was a horrible incident. My son and his girlfriend Anya basically were burned alive in their car. She was my daughter.
Anya's father, Anatoly, got a similar knock on the door that night.
He said Anya's name. I said, yes, it's my daughter. My wife came downstairs and she was screaming and crying. She said, no, 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 no.
In spring of 2022, a jury convicted Oscar Eduardo Ortega Anguiano on 2 counts of gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated. A judge sentenced him to 10 years. But on Easter Sunday, the family say they received this notice from the California Department of Corrections.
Easter Sunday, of all times, to receive such devastating news, Let's talk about California, a sanctuary city upon the sanctuary city of all sanctuary cities, California, with Gavin Newsom, the same governor that dropped the ball with those wildfires. Mayor Bass, who dropped the ball, who went out of town, went to another country, knowing that those wildfires were going to take place. The failed leadership in California, from the governor to the mayor on down, is the same failing government that allowed this man to walk after unaliving 2 people with only 3 years. And they gave the families this news on Easter Sunday. Do mail even run on a Sunday? And then Easter Sunday? I mean, I'm just saying, man, the dangers of sanctuary cities and illegal immigration to this capacity. You see, the infrastructure that was set in place, this is people that are pro illegal immigration and what these citizens have to endure. People that get on the road, they from a different country, they don't even know the rules of the road. And unalive 2 young adults. And if I'm not mistaken, it looked like those people were of Latin descent or Hispanic descent. So this ain't a race thing when we talk about this, because this affects all Americans across the board, regardless of your race, color, or creed. But I'll let this rock out a little bit, man. California, I think they worse than Chicago.
That on July 19th, he'll be getting out.
2 years for killing 2 kids. It's confusing to me. Why you give them 10 if they're going to spend 5 and then 3?
Yeah, 2 young, productive American citizens killed for nothing. And that illegal immigrant who already has been deported twice is going to be released again?
In a statement, the Department of Corrections wouldn't confirm the release, but said in part, quote, incarcerated persons may earn credits for participating in rehabilitative programming, which may move their parole dates to an earlier date.
What? That was the reasoning why? What kind of program knocked off 7 years off of a vehicular homicide? What kind of program y'all give this man that ain't even a citizen, that been deported twice? They got a long criminal record, they say. This ain't his first case. Been deported twice, long criminal record, and then you unalive 2 people in a vehicular homicide. 3 strikes, you should be out, bro. And then you over here, and then people sitting up here protesting for people unvetted to be in their city. This, you can't justify this in any capacity to me. I'm sorry.
Anya and Nikolai's families are now sending letters to the state, calling for Ortega Anguiano to serve his full sentence.
All those dreams were cut short just by one person who was not even supposed to be on that freeway. I will never forgive this guy. Never, ever.
I hope he's going to stay in prison. I hope he's going to get old in prison. And I hope he's going to get kicked out from our country in the end.
And just a short time ago, the U.S. attorney here in Los Angeles announced that once California releases this illegal alien, his office will prosecute him on federal charges for felony illegal reentry. U.S. Attorney Bill Essayli says, quote, my office has filed a felony immigration case against this defendant. He faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted. If the state of California will not seek the full measure of justice against this individual, the Justice Department will.
So there you have it, man. So this guy, they're going to let him out on the state level, but Trump and his administration is say, hold fast, Jim Shoe. Get over here. You've been deported twice before. You back again, and you unaliving American citizens. So when they let them go, the feds coming to snatch them back up. Now, who do you support in this situation? The state of California that want to let this guy go after unaliving somebody, two young American citizens, or the Trump administration that's going to hold his feet to the fire for even being here in the first place illegally for the third time? You know? And I'm just going to leave that right there, man. You know, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. You know, I don't want to make this too long, you feel me? But just to go ahead and add some value on what we talking about here. You know, we gotta stand up for us for once in a while as American citizens and try to make our streets and our blocks and our communities and our cities and our states safe for American citizens. We promote immigration, but legal immigration, not illegal. Because you have people that come from different cultures that are not accustomed to being in America, which causes situations like this to occur. So with that being said, man, people out there protesting against the Trump administration in this respect, I can never co-sign that. You putting the American citizens last. This country is in terrible condition. And one of the ways that we can help get it back on track is getting the people out of here that don't belong here. And if you want to come back here the right way, by all means, go through the process. But with that said, it's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voices. We love y'all. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Peace and blessings.